Authorities say someone remotely gained access to the water treatment plant in Oldsmar, Florida, and then tried to fill the water supply with a potentially harmful chemical. So I'd like to bring in cybersecurity consultant Bryson Bort. He helped start ICS Village, a nonprofit that raises awareness of cybersecurity for industrial systems. In addition, he's the founder and CEO of SCYTHE. Welcome, Bryson. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Of course. Now, who, what, why? I have so many questions. I'm sure they're impossible to answer right now, but let's start here. Now, we often see hackers trying to steal money, steal sensitive information, but how common is it to see a hacker or hackers attempting to cause physical harm to many people by poison or something like that?
So this is incredibly rare. Certainly, we're all aware of all of the big breaches that we see time and time again that's affecting all sorts of traditional enterprises like retail or banking and all of the fraud and different kinds of things there. But that's what critical infrastructure and industrial control systems are about. These are the computers that help keep us safe: water, electricity, transportation. And it's not something we see very commonly where somebody is actually trying to do something harmful with it. More traditionally, what we have seen is and I think your viewers are well aware that there are other countries out there that are, with their intelligence services, their militaries, they have hackers that are doing different things. And in this case, with industrial control systems, mostly what we've seen them do is just do what we would call an iterative intelligence campaign, which is probing and learning about our infrastructure, but not trying to do anything. Now, to start the speculation of who might have done this, it seems highly unlikely that it would be any of those military or intelligence organizations that did that. This looks more like to have the hallmarks of the kind of opportunistic amateur hacker just trying to play around.
Okay, amateur, we can maybe kind of go that route. But okay, so we do know this though. Thankfully, like a diligent employee working there caught the hacker in the act. The employee was actually like seeing his mouse, well, not the actual mouse, but the cursor on the screen moving, even though he wasn't touching it, obviously, and it was changing the levels of the water in the computer. So is there anything to suggest that this might be somebody who's down the street on the other side of the world?
So there are two theories to that. The way that they got in is that the plant was running a particular kind of software. It's called TeamViewer. And TeamViewer allows somebody from somewhere else to remotely dial in and access that to conduct maintenance, to respond to an alert, or do different general things to help keep the water plant running. And as you noted, there was an operator there during business hours, and he watched somebody log in and move across the screen, and they increase the amount of sodium hydroxide to a dangerous level. Now, some of the other information that has come out since is that there was only one shared password to this software, which means anybody who had ever worked there or anything around it would have been able to find that. We don't know how hard the password might have been to guess. So it's something where a lot of these things that are internet connected, there are specific search engines that are used in the technical community that allow us to see all of these things that are internet connected. And it's possible that somebody saw that, found that kind of interesting, took a shot, and happened to get in and then did this.
Wow. Hopefully the password wasn't like H2O with a capital H.
Well, what's your password?
Well, okay. Well, now, of course, I got to project a little into the future here. I mean, moving forward, of course, computers and like clouds and stuff, it's going to be used just about everywhere. It already is. Pretty soon our cars are going to be driving themselves. You alluded to this earlier on. And they're using computers too, of course, that could be susceptible to hacks like this potentially. I just want to know, like in general, who's winning? Is it the good guys or the bad guys? Are we developing safeguards quicker than the hackers are developing new ways to enter unnoticed, or is it the other way around? Who's playing catch up here, generally speaking?
So that's a tough answer because it's not like there is a set dial that says winning or losing when you're looking at everything combined. If it comes down to an individual level with personal finances and personal safety, part of what complicates that for the viewers at home is all of those consumer devices that you're buying that are voice connected or internet connected are now a part of your risk profile. And certainly with the pandemic, we've seen a significant shift to working from home, which makes them even more likely targets because now those employees are an entry into individual businesses where there's, of course, a lot more money and things of interest for the average hacker. When you start looking at critical infrastructure and big business in different sectors, it's also varied. Certainly, I would point to the finance sector as the one that has the most money that they've been investing back in and building state-of-the-art defenses. And conversely, we see things like these municipal lower-level critical infrastructure components where they don't have the money and the resources to invest the same amount in defending us. But here's the thing. Let's take this out of the nerd world and understand that when we're looking at a lot of these military intelligence organizations from adversarial countries, it's not just a computer-on-computer algorithm or calculus that they're doing to decide what to do something with. They're also taking into account that the United States military is a part of that equation, and doing something that crosses a certain line, you're going to be welcoming a stronger response from the United States.
Mr. Bort, thank you for taking us out of the nerd world.